This is going to be an exhaustive video. Do you get it? It's a muffler. Glass pack. So today we're working on a exhaust system for my 1985 GMC C1500. I went ahead and put the set of headers on. I said I wasn't going to do it. Can't make up my mind what I'm going to do. So we're going to put an exhaust on this today. I'm going to build a custom system. There's a few options that you can buy off the shelf from the different race companies. Quick advisory, there's a small human in my shop. Come here. Hop over here. Hop around. Come over here where they can see you. They can't see you. This small human is Cora. Can you say hi to the camera?
Hi.
If you hear strange noises, strange voices, and strange phrases, blame her, not me. Anyways, we're gonna put an exhaust system on the truck today. I went to Summit and I bought these headers originally. I did a review on these. You can click back in the playlist and see those. I've got some updates on those that I'll do a full review once I get the exhaust done. But I ordered a builder kit for the exhaust. 2.5 inch stainless was actually cheaper than 2.5 inch aluminized, so I went with the cheaper version. So I got the 409 stainless, and it comes with different variations of bends and whatnot. This is a 45, comes with some 90s, U-bends, and some straight. Probably not enough straight sections because this thing's kind of long, because it is a long wheelbase. But I got a set of Flowmaster catalytic converters to put on there, and a set of Thrush 24-inch glass packs, kind of for that classic sound. The cats are pretty small. They help cut down some of the stinkiness you get with the old carbureted engines, and that should help out some. I don't think they can see you, Cora.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to the people.
Who people?
The people that are watching.
I don't know.
You don't know them? I don't know some of them either.
Tell me.
Tell you what?
Tell me you.
I don't know who they are.
Okay.
There's some people we know, but a lot of people we don't know. Okay. So anyways, I'm going to stick some cats on there that'll help kind of muffle the sound as well, and help cut down on some of the smell. I've got it on my Ford truck outside, and they seem to work pretty good. I haven't had any issues with them. One thing is they do get smoking hot, obviously, so you end up, even though they come with a heat shield, you end up having to build a heat shield over the top of them kind of crudely. So the first thing you want to do is basically plan it out in your mind what you want. Do I want 2 inch, 2.5, 2.25, what do I want? Figure that out, go from there. I pretty much always do 2.5 regardless. So I'm gonna do 2.5 duals out the back. I may add in an H-pipe at some point, I don't know. So once you get all your plan kind of figured out, the builder kit gets you a good start, and you figure out which mufflers you want, and if you want cats or not, what kind of tips you want. If you want tips, I just bought literally the cheapest turn downs you could get, and they happen to be chrome, but I'm gonna tuck them kind of in behind the bumper so you can't really see them. But the next thing you want to do is just do a general layout and have an idea of where you want to put the different components. I'm going to put the cats pretty much to kind of the original position. The original cat was right here underneath the driver's seat. I'm going to leave this heat shield on this side, and on the driver's side I'll put the cat right there. No heat shield required, but I'll have to put one on this side where all my gas lines and whatnot are, because it may get a little bit smoky if you don't. I've laid everything out. I'm gonna come straight back out underneath the cross member. I'll put the cat right here, and it's still gonna be a little bit below the frame rail, but I'm not looking to off-road this thing at all. And then somewhere in here I'll turn and go up with the exhaust, and I hopefully won't have to do much of a jog over the back axle to get it out the back until I come down below the bumper in the back, or kind of behind the bumper. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. So I got my straight section here, and it's got a bell on this end. I kind of want to save that for a later function, so I've got my collector right here. What I'll end up doing is just kind of measuring back to where I think the cat will go, and I'll tack it on with the welding machine here, and then I'll tack all my stuff together, do pretty good tacks on it, so it'll kind of support its own weight. And then I'll take it off and fully weld it, and I'll do it probably about 3 sections. I'll do this, that's a door. I'll do the cat section, and then up to the muffler section, and then the out the back section, kind of liberal with that, and then mount it, put the hangers in, and then we'll go from there. What are you doing? Shut that door, okay? What are you doing out here?
This seeing.
Huh?
This seeing.
Just seeing? Okay. Yes.
Who do people we know?
Mama watches it, and Amy watches it sometimes, on occasions, every now and then.
What about Mommy?
Mommy sometimes watches it.
We sometimes watch it.
Well, yeah, we sometimes watch it.
I'm going back upstairs.
Okay, be careful, alright?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
Alright, so what I did is I stuck this up here and kind of marked out where I want to start with putting the cat on. And I took a marker and just marked it. I'm going to use a cutoff wheel to cut it, because a few years back I may or may not have been cutting with my bandsaw and forgot about it and left it, and it got hung up, and it may or may not have burned the motor up. The amount of smoke in the shop was pretty intense, so I'm going to go with a definite maybe on it being burned up. But I'm going to use this. You can use a hacksaw. You may consider your life choices after using that, but you can do it if you want. Reciprocating sawzall, it'll do it. Not the best cuts. And then you can use a cutting wheel, or you can use a bandsaw. That'd probably be my choice to do it, because it's the cleanest, easiest cut, and you can get it set up and then come back and do other stuff while you're doing it. But I'm going to use the cutting wheel for this time. So you have pretty much a beautifully uneven cut there, but it's a good start. And ultimately, this is actually going to slide up inside my Cadillac converter. So I'll just get the old weld machine set up and start my tackage. I got a straight piece coming out, and it kind of kicks over out back of the header collector, because the header, for whatever reason, kicks over towards the frame rail. And then I wanted to kind of jog it up and over away from the frame where all the fuel lines are. So I took a U-bend and cut this piece out of it, and then flipped each piece around 90 degrees, or I'm sorry, 180 degrees, and it makes this little S shape right here. So it's not the best thing ever, but it gets it kind of tucked in up above the frame. Not really above the frame, but to match the frame at this low point. And then I'll carry it back a little bit further and try to jog it up a little bit more, and then go straight out the back. I wanted it to kind of be tucked up in between the frame rails where you couldn't really see it, because of the way this frame sweeps up so much. Once you get back here behind the cab, it's gonna be really hard to do that. So take my best stab at it, try to get it up there. But I guess it'd be the mid pipe done. It's the part with the cat up to where the muffler's gonna be. gonna go ahead and weld it up, stick it back in there, and figure out a hanger back there because I need to put a hanger on it. And then I'll start. I don't know if I'm gonna do the front or the driver's side back. I'm just gonna finish it out to the back. I still got the old exhaust to cut out, so we'll figure that out in a minute. But right now I'm gonna weld this up. Got the cat on backwards. I'm gonna have to cut that off in just a second. Lame. Curses. Gotta cut that off. Gotta get a new cutting wheel first. I've hit my head on this ramp a couple times. Hot. So I'll show you what I've got done for today. This is taking me about 45 times as long as it actually should. So I got it all lined up. Got this jog. I had to get this in here because it was a little too close to the frame rail and a little too close to the cross member here. So I got a U-bend that I cut the center section out of and then put the cat on, which you saw me put that on backwards. And then I mounted that and then kick it up. And then I've got a factory style kind of hanger, you know, from the like the modern ones, the rubber isolators. And I got that mounted on there, and I'll finish that up. But I got to get the rest of the exhaust out of the way. You can see right there, it's still in the way. The old Flowmaster. And then over here, Hooker was kind enough to design this to where the collector goes straight out and hits this cross member right here. So I had to take and do pie cuts from what was left over of the 180, and I've got it up to there so far, and I should have turned it just a shade to kick it out away from the frame rail a little bit because I'm gonna have a little bit of tight clearance right here next to the gas tank, but I'll figure something out. But I got a frame rail in between, and there was a factory one here anyways, and I'll probably add another heat shield on there to kind of block it. As you can see, this one is brake lines and fuel lines and stuff right here, so I'll make a shield to come off and shield the bottom of the floor because these things do get pretty hot. But that's it for this. I did a lot of work off camera. I gotta get caught up on this thing. I'm like way behind. So I got a lot of the smoke pipes installed and built in here. As you can see, I've got a muffler here, and I've got it all the way out the back. It's just not fully attached yet. I've got this one ready to, well, almost ready to. I got one more joint I gotta weld up, and then I've got to get some clamps because I'm gonna clamp the mufflers in case I ever want to like change them out or whatever. That's what I got going so far, but I'll show you what I've done. Passenger side I haven't done much with, but if you look in here, I put an O2 bung in there, and I reworked my jog thing here so that I can get a little bit higher, and swung it kind of over. You can see it kind of cants over this way, and then put the cat in, and I put it on the right way this time. The arrow is pointing this way, so fluid that way. So we got a couple 45s that get it kind of up out of the way there. Got an exhaust hanger in here. Some dirt daubers have been in here welding. Looks horrible. Just went ahead and put this in here for when the clamps break. I've already got it in here. Don't have to climb under and put it back in. But coming back, took several pieces and made my little over the axle hump deal, and then I've got to finish this up. But it'll sit like so. I have to adjust it just a little bit. I'm gonna clamp everything in, and it'll be kind of tucked in behind the trailer hitch. Good grief, I don't know how I lost that one. But that's what I've got going so far. And on this one here, you can see I haven't done anything with it. And so I'll put the old muffler right in here, and they'll be kind of offset from one another, but I don't care. And then I'll run back and then kind of over the axle here and underneath this sweet little bracket that GM did, and then kind of right in here like this one is. Pretty simple deal. So I'll set you up and you can watch me do this one on the time lapse. Thanks for all the folks that have subscribed. I appreciate all your help. This week I made it all the way up to 53 subscribers, and then somehow I've made it back down to 51. So I gained 3, lost 3, and net sum gain of 0, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of aggravating. I'm not sure what's going on with the old YouTube. I really appreciate them helping me out and getting rid of my subscribers. But thanks to all you folks who have subscribed, and those of you who haven't, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It'll help me out, kind of get ahead of the game. So I appreciate it. So I've got the exhaust done, well, mostly done. I still need a couple clamps to clamp the mufflers on, but I've got everything else welded up. I've got hangers. Probably going to add just a couple more hangers to it up behind the mufflers to where the tailpipes go into the back of the mufflers. But I'll show you what I got. You can see we got a couple tips here and here, and they run forward and go up over the axle. And then we've got the red glass packs, and they kind of zigzag down into the old Cadillac converters. But everything's welded up, but I'm gonna put a clamp here and here, and actually I'm gonna do one here too, just for taking this extra space up in case I have to put a longer piece if I ever change these mufflers out. And then over here I'll clamp here and here, and then I had to make a longer piece here because I didn't have one with the bell on it here. So just two on this side, actually, because I've got a short piece of pipe in here because there's a bell right there. So I'll have two clamps here, a clamp here. So it's kind of ghetto, it's kind of ugly. There's a lot of dirt dauber welds and stuff on there, but it's done. And I've got to go up topside and finish up some of the stuff with the headers. And I'll do a separate video for the review of the headers post install and some of the rigmarole you've got to go through with those, getting those on and trying to get the stock air conditioner compressor mount to work with the headers. It's a little bit of a hassle, but I'm gonna get the rest of this cleaned up,